October 13th, 1972. The Andes Mountains near the Chile-Argentina border. A twin-engine plane carrying a Uruguayan rugby team clips a ridge at 11,500 feet and breaks apart on a glacier. 12 people die on impact or within a day. 27 survive the crash itself, stranded in the fuselage with no radio and no rescue signal. The cold that night drops below -30 degrees. By morning, 5 more are dead. The survivors have no food beyond a few chocolate bars, some wine, and crackers rationed in crumbs. Within a week, an avalanche buries the fuselage during the night, killing 8 more while they sleep. Those left dig themselves out by hand, breathing through a small air pocket for hours. Search planes fly overhead during the first days, then stop. What nobody in the wreckage knows is that Uruguay has called off the search after 8 days, certain no one could have survived. The survivors hear this by radio on a small transistor set salvaged from the wreck. Which means for the next 53 days, no one is coming for them. Because of the altitude, nothing grows on the glacier. No plants, no animals, no insects. The only food source left is the bodies of those who died in the crash and the avalanche. After days of refusal, the survivors make the decision to eat the flesh of their dead teammates and friends, a choice several later describe as the hardest of their lives. They ration it carefully, cutting thin strips and drying them in the sun. 2 attempts to hike out for help fail within days, turned back by deep snow and thin air. By December, 16 of the original 45 passengers remain alive. 2 of the strongest survivors, Nando Parado and Roberto Canessa, decide to attempt one final expedition west toward Chile, believing the mountains ahead are the edge of the range. They have no climbing gear. They wear sneakers stuffed with insulation and carry a sleeping bag sewn from seat cushions. On December 12th, they begin walking. What they discover within the first 2 days changes everything. The peaks ahead are not the edge of the Andes. They are only the beginning of a second, taller range. Turning back means certain death for everyone. They keep walking anyway. For 10 days they climb through snow, ice fields, and near vertical rock, sleeping in the open each night. On December 20th, near total exhaustion, they spot a man on horseback across a river. They cannot cross to reach him. Instead, they throw a note wrapped in cloth. The note reads, in part, that 14 people remain alive in a plane in the mountains. The rider carries it to the nearest town. Within hours, Chilean authorities are notified. On December 22nd, 2 rescue helicopters reach the wreckage, 52 days after the crash. 6 survivors are airlifted out that day. Weather forces the pilots to leave the rest behind overnight. The following morning, the helicopters return for the final 8. In total, 16 people walk off that mountain alive out of the 45 who boarded the flight in Montevideo. When the full story reaches the press, including what the survivors had to do to stay alive, it becomes a global sensation within days. Reporters camp outside hospitals. Families of the dead learn the details from newspapers before some survivors can tell them privately. In 2006, a plaque is placed at the wreckage site, honoring the 29 who died and the 16 who survived. The fuselage itself is gone, long since removed. What remains on the glacier are scattered fragments of metal, half buried in ice that never fully melts.